Hi, thank you for stopping by. I wanted to put this video together to kind of give you guys an idea of the steps that I've gone through when it comes to building my own kit home. I bought a kit home from Natural Space Domes, so I'm going to do a couple of videos of the whole process. What you see right here, I went ahead and I had it cleared. I had an excavator work on this spot right here. We flattened it out according to the plans. You see the posts that we have. Those are essentially I had a surveyor come out and we ended up kind of marking the points there to determine exactly where things are going to go when it comes to the corners. What you're seeing right here is our septic line as we're digging it in. The one thing I did kind of figure out is that you can't do your own septic work. You have to hire a licensed septic service provider to do it. So that was a mistake on my end, but I did pull a health department permit and got for that. What you see right here is, again, where they're just working on the plans, trying to kind of tell you where the footers are going to go. In this case, we have outside footers. We also have some inside footers because we're going to add a second story onto it. So when he's done with the septic lines coming in, he's going to go ahead and start on the footers. This is kind of an unusual dome to build, a house to build. So I found that a lot of the excavators and contractors, they're kind of worried about this. So they do a lot of measuring. Which is a good thing. I ended up calling the surveyor back twice because first to do the initial footprint, and then after the excavator was done, the guys that are doing the concrete, they wanted to know where all the main points were on the dome itself. So I'm going to cover the actual concrete aspect of it, the forming of it, in a different video. And I'm just, right now, this video is mainly going to cover excavation. In this day and age, it's really hard to get contractors. Since I'm doing a lot of the work myself, I found that the cost was really sufficient, really high if you were just to kind of Google and start making phone calls on excavators. I like working with some local guys to the area. I find that they do a great job, and their prices are reasonable. So I wasn't too familiar with, this is being built in Virginia. I wasn't too familiar with a lot of the contractors in this specific area. So what I ended up doing is I looked on my survey that I had on the property, and normally surveyors are kind of one-man shops, and this was the case. And he recommended an excavator, and that's who I ended up going with. This position, the actual location of the house, was actually found by a timber company. It was so heavily forested in there, we were not able to really find a good spot. So I did a barter with the timber company. I let them take the wood in exchange for them cutting a road in and essentially leveling out a foundation site for us. Here's kind of an aerial view of what it looks like. You've seen the main pipes coming in for the sewer. The most important thing is to kind of find your center point when dealing with a dome. Roughly, I think that they said I'm going to need about 55 yards of concrete, which is a lot. I'm pretty sure that the dome's not going to go anywhere after it's done. So he's sitting there still working on the footers. Over to the right, you kind of see a little bit of a bump out there in orange. That's actually going to be a little extension of the kitchen. Total square footage is a little over 1,200 square feet on the main floor and about half that on the upper levels. We have to have footers in the center because of the upstairs. Essentially, we needed footers to support the weight of the upstairs. So the upstairs is going to be like a loft with one bedroom. You see he's kind of going through, finishing things up. He's going to work himself around. So stay tuned. I'm going to work, the next video I'll work on some of the things that I've learned when it comes to the concrete. So every day I'm learning something new, and this is just kind of a record of mistakes I've made, and hopefully it'll help you guys out if you plan on doing your own kit home in the future. I found that, there wasn't much information online when it came to everything I needed, so that's why I'm doing this.